Hello guys. I hope you all are doing well, and today's video is gonna be about the period romance film Sitaramam. Let's get right into the video. In 1964, a Pakistani extremist Ansari expects to break the brotherly bond between Kashmiri Pundits and Muslims using the Indian Army as a pawn through his machination, as a part of which he sends a few brainwashed teenagers to live in Kashmir as its natives. In 1985, an aggressive Pakistani rabble-rouser Afreen is demanded by the dean of her university in London to apologize to an Indian philanthropist Anand Mehta for setting his car ablaze in retaliation for burning Pakistani flag. When Afreen repudiates, Mehta asks her to pay a compensation of 10 lakhs INR within a month, or else she will be sent to prison. Afreen undertakes an initiative to reconcile with her estranged grandfather Abu Tariq, former brigadier of Pakistani army, and take money from him. Hence, she flies to Karachi, Pakistan, only to learn that he died of illness a few days ago, and she herself is supposed to deliver a letter of Indian Army Lieutenant Ram, written in 1965, to Sita Mahalakshmi of Hyderabad, India, which her grandfather could not deliver by means of post. According to Tariq's will, she would inherit his wealth only after the letter is delivered to Sita. Left with no choice, Afreen goes to Noor Jahan Palace, Hyderabad, where the letter is intended, but realizes that the palace was donated by its Princess Noor Jahan for higher education of girls 20 years ago. Afreen reluctantly enlists the help of her Indian senior Balaji and meets Subramaniam, an accountant who worked at the palace for Nawab for about 40 years, and inquires about Sita, but he doesn't remember anyone with that name employed in the palace. Afreen decides to chase the details about Ram, believing that it could lead them to Sita, and from a military's library, she collects details about Ram's regiment and meets his regiment mate Vikas Verma in Anantapuram with Balaji. Vikas narrates to the duo that in 1965, the brainwashed teenagers established themselves as the natives of Kashmir, and inadvertently, Ansari leaked their details through a spy to the Indian Army Major Salvan, who ordered Ram's superior Vishnu Sharma to assassinate them despite Ram's protests. After the teenagers, except for one, were killed, Ansari triggered a religious riot in Kashmir by provoking Kashmiri Muslims against the Indian Army, accusing the latter of murdering the teenagers and suspecting them just because they were Muslims. Agitated Kashmiri Muslims boycotted the Indian Army and proceeded to burn Agartha, a place where Kashmiri Pundits lived. Ram managed to gather all the Hindus at a safe place along with his regiment mates, and by exposing Ansari's conspiracy, cleared the misinterpretation of Muslims, causing them to put off the fire and apologize. For their act, Ram and his companions were appreciated, and a reporter Vijayalakshmi arrived at their base to interview them. Perceiving that Ram was an orphan with none to even write to him, Vijayalakshmi asked everyone on the radio to send their love for Ram, with herself writing a letter to him addressing him as her son. As a result, Ram began to receive several letters, while one of them from Sita Mahalakshmi fascinated him. Sita claimed that she was married to Ram and recollected several incidents of their marriage that never happened. However, there was no sender's address on the letter, leaving Ram unaware of who she was and how she looked. While receiving letters regularly from her, Ram figured it out that she would board a train to Hyderabad from Delhi through few details in one of her letters, and boarded the same train with Vikas. He eventually found her and recognized her using a riddle she posed for him in a letter, gave her the replies he had written to her letters, and left her compartment, not before telling her to call the landline of his friend Durjoy Sharma of Hyderabad, with whom he would be staying for next few days. Ram and Vikas unintentionally boarded a train to Madras and hence, it took them some time to reach Hyderabad, where Ram was broken to realize that Durjoy's landline was dead and felt disappointed thinking that he could not meet Sita again. However, she arrived at Durjoy's house searching for Ram, asking him to forget her, but he refused and she left without telling him who she was. Now, Vikas reveals to Afreen and Balaji that he could not meet Ram after that due to his personal problems and gives them Durjoy's address and Vishnu's contact. Afreen makes a phone call to Vishnu through a telephone booth at a bus station but is compelled to disconnect the call as the bus to Hyderabad is about to leave. Curious that someone wants to know about Ram, Vishnu mysteriously postpones his plans to search for Afreen. The latter meets Durjoy and learns what happened after Sita left. Ram and Durjoy went for a magic show, which Sita said she wanted Ram to take her to in one of her letters. They successfully managed to find Sita and Ram conversed with her friend Rekha, who disclosed that Sita was the Bharatanatyam teacher to Princess Noor Jahan. Ram and Sita began to spend time with each other and Ram eventually learnt that he rescued Sita from riots in Agartha. That's when she had fallen in love with his benevolent nature. Ram dared to fool the accountant Subramaniam to get into the palace and meet Sita, whom he proposed, but she left yet again as something interrupted her from accepting the proposal. Currently, Durjoy gives Afreen and Balaji a photo of Sita. Ram clicked from his camera, which Afreen takes to Subramaniam for him to identify her, but realizes through a portrait in the palace that Sita is in fact Princess Noor Jahan. Afreen and Balaji meet Rekha, who reveals that Noor was in love with Ram but her destiny prevented her from accepting him. As her family's assets in Oman were captured due to the financial crisis, her brother engineering a truce offering to get her married to the Prince of Oman. Rekha advised Noor to divulge about her identity to Ram and she intended to do it by accompanying him to his family, who wrote him letters. However, during those days, Noor felt attached to Ram and could not reveal her identity while left for Kashmir, not before expecting Noor to go with him, but she could not as the Prince of Oman accepted to marry her. While unbeknownst to them, a journalist Marthandam clicked their pictures and published them in the newspaper publicizing Noor Jahan's affair with a common man. When the Prince of Oman requested for an explanation from Noor through an ambassador, Noor's brother asked her to reveal that she had nothing to do with Ram, but she imparted that she was in love with Ram and was ready to give her property up for him. She left for Kashmir despite receiving opposition from her brother and without passing on about her true identity. She spent a few days with Ram and got acquainted with his colleagues and superiors. Now, Rekha gives Noor's contact to Afreen and Balaji, who learn that she is in Kashmir and leave to meet her over there. Upon landing in Kashmir, Afreen is apprehended by Vishnu, who tells her the rest of the story. Noor and Ram engaged in an unexpected dinner with Vishnu and his wife Vaidehi when the survived Pakistani teenager attempted to murder Vishnu, who was rescued by Ram. Ram convinced the teenager of Ansari's intentions, got to know about his whereabouts and promised the teenager that he would protect his sister Vahida from Ansari's clutches. Brigadier Y.K. Joshi and Major Salvan assigned Vishnu, Ram and few other officers on a covert mission to assassinate Ansari off the record and declared that the one who wouldn't return would be declared as deserted soldiers of the army. Bidding a tearful bye to Noor, who wanted to tell him the truth once he returned, Ram departed for his mission and along with his team, managed to successfully kill Ansari in Pakistan. However, while trying to rescue Vahida from fire, Ram and Vishnu were arrested by the then Army General Abu Tariq, who was compassionate towards both of them and requested the Indian diplomat Rahul Verma to trade the Pakistani prisoners in India with Ram and Vishnu. However, the Pakistani army only wanted to release one of the two, and eventually, Vishnu was sent to India at Ram's behest. At present, Vishnu reveals to Afreen that post that incident, Pakistani army orchestrated attacks on Indian army bases in Kashmir, killing 32 soldiers, which made the army to presume that Ram was a traitor, and Noor had to bear the humiliation for that misinterpretation. However, Vishnu expresses his trust in Ram and also discloses to Afreen that she is Vahida, whom Ram tried to protect and because of whom he was separated from Noor. Afreen is devastated. Meanwhile, Balaji delivers the letter to Noor, who has been living her life with Ram's memories, and through the letters, learns that the Pakistani army put a condition to Ram and Vishnu that who would reveal the details about Indian army bases in Kashmir would be released. When Ram refused to, Vishnu gave in to protect Vaidehi and his children from the terrorists. This was why he has been living his life in regret, stopped Afreen, and does not want the letter to be delivered to Noor. Noor learns that Ram was executed in the prison through the letter, and distraught, she also finds a newspaper clipping attached to it that was published by Marthandam revealing that Ram knew who Noor was but did not care about her religion. Such was his love. Noor, through the letter, exposes Vishnu, causing an inquiry committee to be set up on him, and goes to meet Afreen, to whom she reveals that Ram is dead. Afreen blames herself and hugs Noor. While Vishnu shoots himself with his service revolver out of disgrace, Noor receives a medal from Ram from the President of India, with Afreen restoring his reputation in the army. Afreen is revealed to have apologized to Mehta and also has 18 prisoners of India released from Pakistan's prison.